Hello and welcome back to another episode of Warriors HQ. On the show this week, we talked to Dave Rennie at the launch of the Heineken Champions Cup in Dublin, and we also have a first interview with new signing Tavita Tamalau. In the news this week, Scotstoun's pitch has been nominated for Best Managed Artificial Surface of the Year at the Institute of Groundsmanship Industry Awards 2018. A huge congratulations to our groundsman Paddy Ferry for all of his hard work managing the surface. The awards dinner will take place on Wednesday the 31st of October. Also, congratulations to Callum Gibbons, who turned 30 this month, and a big thank you to Harper McLeod, who sent him a birthday cake to mark the occasion. Wooden Spoon, an official charity of Scottish Rugby, have donated a minibus to Who Cares Scotland, a national voluntary organisation working with care experienced young people and care leavers across Scotland, and some of our players were there to help hand over the keys at Scotstoun this week. Winger DTH van der Merwe scored his 50th Glasgow Warriors try against the Southern Kings last week, and here's a reminder of some of his best scores in a Warriors shirt.
Glasgow have it now with MacArthur. There's Russell. Hall. And on it goes from Dunbar. It's a lovely service to DTH van der Merwe. And suddenly Glasgow bursts into life. Pyrgos waits again. Turned down so many kicking opportunities, but it doesn't matter if you score tries. And DTH van der Merwe is over again. Scrum half, real injection of quality from him. Oh! Van der Merwe's got a hat-trick. Quality finishing from him too. There's Gray, Pyrgos, and again the scrum half. Nakarawa, but still Ulster keep Glasgow at bay. Russell goes wide, here it is! DTH van der Merwe for Glasgow. 5 minutes left, and the scores are level in this semi-final. It's one of those moments when Glasgow are simply irresistible. We've seen them all season, and they have found one when it mattered most. Picked up by Hall to Nakarawa. Again, he bounces off the first tackle, gets the offload in. Van der Merwe, Nakarawa's made another. And the man who scored the dramatic win-up with the contribution of Russell's boot last week has done it again, shows his pace and his strength, and in his 100th game for the Glasgow Warriors, he scores again. Steve?
Picked up 5 points last weekend, a superb angle and a great finish, an important one. DTH van der Merwe, second try of the afternoon.
Sean Hastings dabs one through. Nick Craig, one hand off.
Oh, lovely little step from Jordan Williams. He's up to the 22. He's found some open space. Oh, what a break from Williams!
Out the back to Hastings and the floated pass to DTH van der Merwe.
Earlier this week, we caught up with new signing Tavita Tamalau to talk about the USA International's first few months at Scotstoun and how he's settling in.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into rugby initially?
Yeah, my old man played rugby, played for Tonga, and he was a fly half. He's really small, believe it or not. And I grew up playing American football and the other American sports like basketball and baseball. But mostly football, American football. And in high school, during my off season, my dad had the opportunity to help coach a high school team. Asked me if I wanted to come play just to keep up with fitness for football in the off season, and then just fell in love with the sport. And yeah, that's how I started playing rugby. There's just something different about rugby. I know a lot of football players who go from playing football and try rugby, end up loving rugby, and would actually prefer to play rugby over American football. Rugby in the US has been the fastest growing sport for, I don't know, the last decade, and it's good to finally see that it's getting, you know, that platform to continue to grow.
And can you tell the supporters what kind of player you are? How would you sum yourself up?
I like to carry. I'm a strong ball carrier, I like to think. Dave said I could work on just accuracy a little bit more, but I really enjoy the physical aspect of the game, so that's what I hope to bring.
Are you hoping that your move here to the Warriors will help you win more international caps?
Yeah, definitely. I think this was the best move for me as far as rugby, and just in general, actually. You know, I've learned so much already. I've picked up quite a bit of, you know, skills from training, and I think it'll just help me to continue playing at that international level.
As I mentioned at the start of the show, we were at the launch of the Heineken Champions Cup in Dublin this week, and while we were there, I caught up with head coach Dave Rennie. They were here at the Heineken Champions Cup launch in Dublin. We didn't have the best Champions Cup experience last season, but what were your experiences of Scotstoun on a European night?
Oh, brilliant. You know, as the crowd's always great for every game, but maybe a little bit more special with the quality of the opposition that we're playing against and so on. So, you know, I guess we were well beaten in the end by Leinster. We had a tight one against Montpellier that at 19-7 got a couple of yellow cards, and that had a big impact on the game, and played really well against Exeter, obviously at home, and a lot of snow swept to the side of the field type of thing. So, yeah, pretty special.
Supporters will be really looking forward to Saracens coming up here. We had a quarter-final against them a couple of seasons ago. Will you be referring back to that quarter-final for motivation for these players?
Oh, look, I won't be. Obviously, I wasn't around, but I know a number of the boys were part of that, and obviously had a great campaign that year to get through to the quarters. And yeah, a big chunk of that Saracen side is still around, so I'm sure it'll be a motivating factor for some of the guys. Probably not something that we'll talk greatly about. We'll really focus on us. You know, they're such a good side. We don't need to put them on a pedestal. We need to be really clear on what the expectation is of our boys.
Well, loads has been made of Saracens, but Cardiff and Lyon too, equally challenging fixtures.
Yeah, obviously we'll take one at a time, and Cardiff the following week, but you know, the Challenge Cup champions, they got off to a pretty good start this year. They lost a couple of tight ones, and were impressive last weekend against Munster, so we know they're going to be a handful, and obviously Lyon dominating the French comp, and you know, got a massive team and so on, with a pretty handy midfielder in Charlie Nartai. So we look forward to it. It's just a great opportunity for us to test ourselves against the best teams in Europe.
That's all for this week's show. Don't forget that tickets for our game against the Dragons on Saturday night are still available from glasgowwarriors.org. On this week's Warriors Weekly podcast, me and Adam Ash are joined by Lee Jones, so make sure you go to Apple Podcasts or Acast to download that. And we'll be back at the same time on Warriors HQ next week.